Hey guys, and welcome to Nashville for Nobodies. I am your host, Bobby Gordon, along with the amazing
Brian Morelli. Hello, and you might be listening to this on a Tuesday when this episode would come out, but we record on Monday mornings.
Yes.
And that's very interesting and unique because we can get the busiest people in town free on a Monday morning.
Right.
So, Will, thank you very much for coming out, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, guys.
I'm actually really shocked that this was super easy to coordinate. It was just like, hey, are you? Yep, let's do it.
Yeah, man.
Man, we have not got to sit down and talk to you in what feels like a billion years.
Dude, yeah.
So much has happened.
Absolutely.
So let's go down the highlight reel.
Yeah, man.
Just update us on some stories, what you've been up to, who you've been working with.
I should first say that my introduction to you was how many times you were mentioned on Nashville for Nobodies before I came down here.
Oh, that's
you,
cool.
You and Kyle, yeah, you got a bunch of mentions, and I was like, who is this Will Beeman character?
No,
I have
you were straight up a meme for like 50 episodes.
Heck yeah, dude.
Like,
That's
if
awesome.
there was an episode bingo card, you're the center space. Guaranteed.
I love that, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, man. I've been super fortunate to work with some cool artists. The two mainstays as of right now are Ali Colleen and Dylan Schneider. My own band started putting out music late last year. Starting that train, getting that ball rolling.
Finally.
I know, right? But yeah, dude, just been doing a lot, playing on Broadway, making a living, living life, man.
Let's talk about the Dylan Schneider thing.
Yeah, dude.
Because I didn't realize you had that gig until I saw like a video clip.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, holy shit, he hired all my friends.
Yeah.
Wow. I've been a
Yeah.
fan of his since probably 2016.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah. Around the first EP times and like,
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, wow. He's a great artist. I've been a fan of his for a bit, so.
Yeah,
cool.
dude.
Yeah. I did not know you were with him, so that's good. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I
Amazing.
just started that probably like late spring last year.
So to say it's relatively recent.
Yeah. Yeah. Within the last year, I know their previous guitarist and drummer left to both just go pursue different things. And Josh McAfee, who has played bass with Dylan for literally ever, was tasked with putting together a band.
And literally just hired his best friends.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Because so if you were you were definitely my first actual friend
Yeah.
in Nashville.
Nice.
I met you really soon after I moved to town.
Yeah.
And then if you're my first, Josh is my second.
Yeah.
And so he's been on that gig forever. He's basically grown up in that career.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see that video clip and there you are.
Yeah.
And
dude.
I'm like, man. And then I was like, who's on? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
He hired all my best friends.
Yeah, dude.
And
It's cool.
so-
It's a fun cat to be a part of for sure.
Oh, it can't not be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice, man, when you do those gigs, and especially like we haven't done, well, I guess we're getting ready to around this time next month do like something like longer than like a week at a time. But when you're out, even just often like doing like weekend runs, like every weekend, like we did a lot of that this last summer, but we were out just like every weekend. And you're around people that you genuinely enjoy being around,
Mm-hmm.
makes it so much easier.
Oh, it's
So much easier.
it's fun. It's
Yeah.
not a job at all.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what I would want to do
Yeah.
without money being involved. I
Right.
want to invite my friends over and play music.
Yeah, dude. And then pay rent with it. Like,
Right?
heck yeah.
Like, you're so lucky. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, dude. It's really rad.
But that being said, it literally couldn't happen to a better group of people. Like, you guys are all just like genuinely great people.
Oh, thanks, man.
Nice.
I love you.
Heck yeah. I love you too, dude.
That's
All right,
great.
so
man.
let's dive into the solo stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
this has been a thing that you've been piecing together for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about it last time you were on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going? What's going on with that? What's in the near future?
Man, it's good. We're waiting on, I think, the final mix back on the second song we're going to release. We're a little behind schedule, but everything is permanently.
Yeah. ADHD will do that.
Dude, yeah. It's funny. It's for me, I found out, well, I didn't just find out, but I've been dealing with like being a bit of a perfectionist because like especially in like the rock and metal world, man, like I don't know. I feel like you can agree with this. I grew up with like floor wedges and like
Mhm.
loud 412 cabs and just like in your face, like no tracks, no click, just like blow and go kind of rock and roll,
Yeah.
and that's not what it's been the last several years. I mean, a lot of like modern rock and metal, which sounds great and is like its own thing. It's just been like a sound that I've heard done over and over and over again, where it's like MIDI drums or like sample replace drums
Mhm.
and like auto tune and like 90 layers of vocals and 40 layers of guitars that are all like plugins and like no
Yeah.
real amps. And I just wanted hardcore to get away from that, and to find a producer slash mix engineer that would do that was difficult to find.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Because that's literally what they're taught not to do.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's way harder, man.
Yeah.
You have to commit when you're miking a guitar amp, like that's what it's going to be.
Mhm.
And like, you got to either make sure it's really, really good at the source, which is preferable, or really know your shit and know how to make a not so great or not so perfect sounding source
Mhm.
sound good. So that's been a lot of the struggle for sure. But we are working with Trent Hollingsworth. Him and Ethan have built and are building out continuously a studio in his house's basement, and they're doing really cool shit, really really cool stuff. So we redid drums there, like reamped guitars and whatnot. But yeah, just getting that off the ground for sure. Uh, it's been rad, and it has been something like you said that I've been talking about doing for a long time, and kind of just getting past the like, not everything needs to be 100% perfect.
Mhm.
Just like get it out there has been a big growing point for me personally.
I think that's a struggle a lot of us have.
Dude, yeah.
Because we find ourselves all the time in positions where it's like, I don't know the exact thing I'm supposed to do here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's wait and figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's the wrong mentality. If
It
you don't know
absolutely
what
is.
to do, just do something.
Yeah.
Because you'll figure out what you were supposed to do and then
Yeah.
you can pivot. But if you don't do anything, you're just waiting.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Especially with like how long I personally sat there and was like, I want it to be like a culmination of these influences, and like thinking about exactly how I wanted the whole project to come across. Like that also like compounded on that
Mhm.
feeling. But especially with the way that like new artists get started and how important social media is and how important it is to have just consistent content, whether
Mhm.
it's perfect, like as long as it's kind of good
Mhm.
quality stuff, like it'll work. It's just,
Yeah.
it's social media has definitely turned it into a quantity over quality thing. That being said, I mean, I feel like the more quality that you're able to put into it,
Yeah.
obviously people will recognize that and it'll do well. But social media is definitely compounded on that being like a
Mhm.
bad mentality of like, you just got to get like something out and like consistently.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, it was a big pivot because when YouTube was the video platform, it was, you spend a week in production on this one like minute video.
Mhm.
And then you release like one, maybe if you're like going for it, a couple a month.
Yeah.
And then TikTok was like, no, we don't play that. We want
Yeah.
15 videos in an hour. Let's
Yeah,
go.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like while the quality of the video itself isn't important,
Mhm.
like the information, what you're getting out there has to be relevant to people.
Oh, absolutely.
And so as long as you're talking about something people care about or you're showing something they're interested in,
Mhm.
that's the quality now.
Yeah.
They want it to be the right subject. They don't care about the right lighting or the fancy cameras.
Right.
Like it can be shaky on your phone if you're saying and doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
That's tough. That's
Mhm.
really tough
Yeah.
to come up with subject matter for that.
Mhm.
Really, when you're trying to, first off, you're trying to release music
Yeah.
to ideally connect with people. So now your daily or few a day short form video, also you have to make that same connection. Like
Mhm.
that's exhausting on so many levels. And it used to just be like, hey, check these boxes and
Right.
you
Yeah.
might have a chance of hitting something semi-viral, at the very least bacterial. But I
Right.
I had a band, so I was in this, like, arena rock tribute band, uh, around 10-ish years ago, and in 2018, we sat down with a social media manager who was starting to get people to blow up on an early form of TikTok.
Mhm.
So the style of video and what the algorithm would do, like, it all those systems do not relate to now in 2026,
Mhm.
but they were the only way then. And
Yeah.
there were no bands on TikTok at that point. So he was trying to get us to be like the first band on TikTok. It just, for so many reasons, we didn't connect, and that's perfectly okay. But I just remember he was the one telling us, like, we're going to get to, people are going to watch 60-second videos. He was, it was an incredible conversation because he did predict everything that is going on today.
Mhm.
That's insane.
It's just that none of us subscribe to it. Or
Right.
excuse me, let me rephrase. I didn't subscribe to it at all.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Dude, that's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
I've been around a bunch of people who were that forward thinking, and it's hard to, in that like infancy kind of stage,
Yeah.
like separate them from the people who are just blowing smoke. Like it's really
Mhm.
difficult to differentiate. But looking back on it now, it's like, man, that guy like had it figured out
Yeah.
really early on. That's
Right.
crazy.
But like, and his clients at the time were just, he didn't have groups of people. It wasn't that. It was more just like, here's a mom of like 5 who has a few catchphrases, and now every video is like millions of views and interactions.
Mhm.
And then here's a guy who does something. Here's a girl who dances. Here's like, and then here's this band of all people of just like from, we were all from different generations. Like
Yeah.
we didn't look like a band. We looked like a pile up on the highway. Like, and we're exchanging information. Like, so for a number of reasons, we realized what was working against us in terms of like, our whole platform is like 80s music. Well, we're not going to relate. And we didn't.
Mhm.
And at the time it didn't. And, but it's cool to see it transform now to, hey, this is the platform for music now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an amazing growth. It's been cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And like you were talking about the whole getting yourself out there and your music out there, like one of the big hurdles to get across when you're a new artist or have new music is why should people want to listen to you? If they don't go into it wanting to know what you're about, it's just noise.
Oh yeah.
And so you have to get them to care before they care about your music.
Yeah.
And short videos that have personality, that's how you do that.
Yeah.
The time between songs on stage, that's
Yeah.
how you do that. That's
Yeah.
how you hook, line, and sinker. Like they don't care about the music unless they care about you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of bands, especially Broadway bands, they're missing out on a lot of that because the bars are like, no, song, 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 no
Mhm.
dead air. It's like, it's not dead air. That's relationship building. That's giving them a reason to stay.
Dude, you are
Mm.
absolutely right. Last night, my band plays Sunday and Monday, 10 to close at Nudies. And last night was a great example of that, of like, it kind of, it kind of died off after like 12:30. So we just started messing around. I mean,
Mm.
not messing around, but in the time in between songs, when we were deciding what we were going to do, because we didn't have any requests, like we were just being ourselves, and kind of, I make the joke often that it's like a podcast with occasional music breaks,
Right.
you know, and it's hilarious to me how much that engages people.
Absolutely.
Like you can take a room of people who, like, if we were just playing song after song after song, they wouldn't care. Like they would
Hmm.
just be watching TV or doing something, you know. Um, but the amount of people that when you balance that, like, kind of, I guess, personality, or like the way that you and your bandmates like feed off of each other, if you put short intersections of that in between, every like 2 or 3 songs,
Mhm.
the amount that people engage more when you do that is wild.
Yeah.
Especially for like Broadway when it's such a tourist town and like you would expect like, oh, if you just ran it like a corporate party band, like that's what's going to sell alcohol and that's what's going to make you money.
Mhm.
Like not always. I'm sure on the weekends, yeah, probably. But like during the week especially, I think that I agree that that's something that people are not capitalizing enough on.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think about eating at a restaurant.
Mhm.
Your server can be a perfect server.
Mhm.
Like refills your drinks, gets your order out fast, doesn't mess anything up,
Mhm.
and you can't remember them
Mhm.
the second you leave. But if that server comes up and is talking to you and engaging and showing personality and is like, dude, what's up? Man, that's a great choice, dude. I work here for the
Mhm.
chicken. Like it is that's what you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's the guy you're like, okay, well, first of all, I'm gonna give him like an extra $10 in tip.
Right.
But then you're like, I hope he's my server next time.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
he didn't do anything different.
Yeah.
He just engaged with you and
Yeah.
you got to see a human and not a servant,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so if you want to get on stage and be a jukebox and nobody gives a shit,
Yeah.
then do that. But if you want to be the kind of artist that people come back to see and
Mhm.
engage with on social media and want to give money to and be a part of the adventure,
Mhm.
then you got to show them who you are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A great example, I play with Jara Ward all the time. And she sat last night to a group of like 6 people because we're on a rooftop when there's a Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
And we take a break and she does some of her originals acoustic. And she gives this long, I mean, it was probably a solid 5-minute story
Yeah.
before the song. And you look around and everybody is just glued to her.
Mhm.
They want to hear the story. They want to know about her.
Yeah.
And that is her superpower. She can get a whole room like that, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all because you see her personality and you're immediately like, I want to hang out with that person. I
Mhm.
want to be her friend. I want her to keep talking to me.
Yeah.
And then we play a song and they're like, I really like that song.
Yeah.
She would sound great doing this song. Here's $20.
Yep.
Mm.
That's the
Every
secret,
time.
man. That's the secret.
Right. It's reading the room.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly that there's now most of your job is reading the room now because
Oh yeah.
you can't turn every room into a listening room environment, but like that's where the listening room environment, like that's where that shines.
Oh, yeah.
That quality. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great that Jared can do that.
Mhm.
I've seen some people also do that and have it unfortunately not work.
Mhm.
Well, that's the
So
thing too.
yeah.
You've got to know who you are and what you're
Yeah.
good at and
Yeah.
how you connect.
Yeah.
That's like what Will does isn't going to work for Jara.
Right.
What Jara
Yeah.
does isn't going to work for he's
Mhm.
not going to be able to tell this sweet, compassionate story
Certainly.
about him and his girlfriend before he sings a love song in a punk rock show. Like
Right.
that's not how
Yeah,
that
yeah.
works.
Yeah. Well,
Totally.
that's the unteachable talent though.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
like knowing people, knowing strangers actually well enough to be able to like tell like this is gonna work, this isn't gonna work. This
Yeah.
might work tonight, this might not work tomorrow night.
Right. I think so much of it is also wrapped up in like the confidence when you do send it ultimately.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of take on the same mentality when it comes to playing slow songs during, if it gets requested or something.
Mhm.
And it's just like, okay, if we just send this the best that we can, like then everybody's going to sense like the conviction in how we're playing this, as opposed to, hey, they played a bunch of high energy songs and we dropped off on
Mhm.
that, so now we're going to leave. Like it's yeah,
Absolutely.
confidence is like we were talking about that before we started this
Yeah.
podcast. Like that's the ultimate way to send anything.
Well, let's dive into that because, well, ever since I've met you, you've been a fairly confident person.
Okay.
So, like, your playing has always been outstanding, and you've never, I've never seen you be afraid of not being up to the bar.
Oh, heck yeah. I hide it well. That's awesome. That's good to know.
So what do you do to keep it? Because we all know if you're having a moment of doubt, like you're going to spiral,
Yeah.
and that can lead to a whole terrible night of
Oh, absolutely.
missed everything.
Oh, dude.
So what do you do to kind of keep in the zone and keep yourself like on top of things and confident? Because you're obviously competent in multiple instruments, which isn't fair. So yeah, so what do you do to stay in the right headspace?
Man, you know what taught me the best as far as on stage being confident in what I kind of, I guess I'll get to how like I implore that even when I'm not feeling confident is playing drums. And like very early on when I played drums with people versus just like, because I that's what I used to use as my like physical or like mental releases. I would like play drums
Mm.
and just like bash the shit out of them in my
Oh,
parents' basement.
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's very therapeutic. I can afford to do that now because it's expensive. However, when I started playing with people versus just like to an iPod and my headphones, something I learned is like even if you like screw up, if you do it confidently enough,
Mhm.
people will follow you and you'll figure it out and it won't sound like a mistake.
Right.
Versus like if you kind of like realize halfway through you're doing a fill or halfway you're going into a next section and you even mentally think it and don't change physically what you're doing, there's some sort of like sixth sense like factor of like even the most untrained person can tell, oh, he just screwed up. And for some reason, I'm not sure if it's the physicality of it or what it is. Um, but like drums, it really, really comes through.
Mhm.
Like I said, even if you're physically doing the same thing, uh, or think about it differently, like just do it less confidently, like it comes through and imploring that or using that rather, when fronting especially, it's kind of the same thing to me. Whereas like if I go to say something and I say it confidently and I trip over my words, which happens a lot, um, like if you just own it and like say something about it, it's like, cool, sick. That's the first time that that's going to happen tonight of many,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
address it in a confident way. The amount of people that will laugh along with you
Oh,
and like
absolutely.
help rebuild, at least for me, that kind of confidence is so much more than if you just try and like work your way through it and trip over your words another 3 times
Oh,
in
sure.
trying to
Mhm.
work through it. So like I guess that's how I get through it is like if I make a mistake because it will eventually happen. Um, if you just address it, at least in the context of like Broadway, right? Um, and you just move past it,
Mhm.
you say, okay, cool, that happened, move on, and just genuinely leave it there, which is easier said than done.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I guess that's the best thing that I do to like stay confident and like continue being confident. Um,
No, I love that. I've said often that, like, your big train wrecks and mistakes on stage, make that a part of the show.
mhm,
Like, if you completely fumble a song,
mhm.
like, don't try and cover it up and pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah,
Like, totally just open the door, be like, "Dude, we fucked that."
but nobody died.
Right?
Yeah.
Is because at the end of the day, like, we're entertainers when we're on stage.
Mhm.
We're not like, we're musicians, but we're entertaining through music.
Yeah.
The music doesn't have to be perfect. That's the studio job.
Right.
Yeah.
If we botch it, then it just has to be fun,
Yeah.
and that fixes everything.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so approaching it personally from that standpoint, like, okay, that guitar solo
That
wasn't
happened.
there. Frets are hard. Let's move on.
Right.
It's the
Yeah.
same concept because, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody on stage has the same concerns, the same feelings. So it's like they want to be perfect so
Mhm.
nobody hates them.
Mhm.
And then they see you're not perfect and you're not worried about it and they don't have to be.
Mhm.
And then automatically they feel better. And so then they're not uptight if you do something. Because at the end of the day, I don't think anybody cares if somebody else messes up unless it messes them up.
Mhm.
Oh, certainly,
And
yeah.
then they're nervous about it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah.
look bad and they're embarrassed.
Mhm.
But if they don't have to be, then it just doesn't matter anymore. And
Yeah.
you can just play.
Mhm.
So I love that approach.
Yeah, yeah. Addressing it and laughing about it. And addressing it can be as big as like saying something about it, like, wow, that sucked. Or what happens more often than not with my band when we mess up was like somebody will look at someone like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
And,
that's
we
hilarious.
laugh about it and then we move on.
No, uh,
But yeah, that's it. I hate the thing that we've all probably heard early in our lives as deciding to be musicians, which is like, picture the crowd in your underwear. It's like, no, that's famously the worst advice that you could ever give
well,
somebody.
not only that, like at least me having been playing as long as I don't care about the crowd.
Mm-mm.
Like half the time, I don't even realize they're there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If I mess up, I'm worried about what you think of me.
Mhm. Yeah.
What the 4 guys on stage think of me.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so when something goes right and somebody turns and gives me the look and I'm like, okay, cool. Thank God.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Some of the worst gigs I've ever played, people in the crowd were like, you're the best band I've ever heard.
Right?
I don't trust them at all.
It's not Guitar Hero where you're gonna like miss 2 notes and then pin to red on the suck meter and get booed off the stage before you start. Like,
Yeah.
Right?
I know. I think maybe that video game set us up for that's probably how live music is. And
Dude, it's so
I know.
funny. That's so funny. A quick sidebar that's kind of related, kind of not. Chris bought my girlfriend's old like PS2 or PS3, and he bought it just to like play Guitar Hero because he hasn't in a long time,
Nice.
right?
Mhm.
And Chris's girlfriend was like, why do you want to like come home after you've played for 4 hours and then do the same thing? He's like, it's not the same thing. There's no multiplier when I'm playing with my friends on
Yeah.
Broadway. And in the same, train of thought, there is no like suck meter where inside one song you'll have a crowd almost boo you off stage and like cheer for you loudly at random points in the song that don't make sense to cheer
Right.
for. That's not going to happen in real life. So
Oh,
like, yeah.
I keep trying to trigger star power and I just like hit harder and a lot more
Yeah.
things and it has an opposite effect. I don't know why it's not working.
I think when you get into the flow state of performing is when you do hit the star power with your bandmates. It's like, oh, everybody's locked in. I'm like, okay, I think that's a real feeling that they might have nailed in the game.
That's fair.
That and that immediate disgust with yourself when you miss the last note. And you're just like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm jumping off the roof. We're done. I'm never doing this again.
Oh, dude, the amount of times that I do that is probably criminal. I feel that. Yeah, I'm just gonna be on stage for later tonight, just randomly, like with my headstock, just. Why isn't it doing the thing? Why isn't everything going blue?
Yeah. The stage and the people didn't turn blue. What's wrong with this thing? Oh man. Oh,
So
that's hilarious. Yeah.
talking about personality on stage
Mhm.
and being open to not being perfect,
Mhm.
I feel like I have to talk about your drummer
Yes, I was just gonna say that's a perfect segue.
because it seems to be his goal in life to make you miss whatever you're about to do.
That is
yeah.
absolutely true. That is absolutely true, and that's a great example of like where the personality comes through in like how much that can make a difference in a performance.
Mhm.
Obviously, playing on Broadway, right? We're playing for at least 4 hours at a time, and that's if you're doing one shift, right?
Mhm.
But especially during the slow months, man, like the bar that we play at, it's policy to at least go until 2, which
Mhm.
is fair. A lot of bars close very, very early. So there ends up being like on Monday night in January, like 3 bars open past like
Yeah.
1:30. So we're there, right? We're gonna have fun if there's 2 people in the room, you know? Because otherwise if we just sit there and play songs, we're gonna go insane.
Yes.
You know.
It makes for such a long night.
Yeah. So that's how that started. And it obviously with Ethan made it a goal a couple years ago to like really like build social media and just like do stuff on it. And that was one of the things that he did, and obviously it blew way up. But it's funny to me. I think the funniest thing about that is the amount of people that have thought that it's performative, and I cannot explain to you how well all three of those guys perfectly understand my sense of humor, particularly like my specific brand, that
Yeah.
like they just know exactly what to do, and all of their timing especially is very, very good. But yeah, that's a fun, I guess, difference between my shifts and most shifts is like that is definitely a goal of theirs all the time.
I love it. And for those listening that don't exactly know what's going on, um, he has a sample pad
Mhm.
and he programs whatever he feels necessary and injects that wherever he feels
Yeah.
Yes.
necessary.
Yep.
Um,
A lot of memes, and
Love
that's
oh yeah,
great.
SpongeBob quotes.
Yes, dude. Marcus the Worm. That's a newer
I
one.
hate Marcus so
I
much.
fucking love Marcus, dude.
Clips.
I know
from
I'm in the minority.
That's okay, I get.
the clips from songs.
Yeah.
Like it's a live action meme, is what it is.
It absolutely is.
And
Sometimes complete songs.
Yes.
Yeah. What was that, the Big Time Rush one? Or- yeah.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, that was a great one.
but yeah, like taking this and going back to confidence, like what did he have a conversation with you guys before he started that? Or did he just start it and you were like,
No,
what the
so,
fuck, dude?
I played that shift and I got briefly fired from it, as is
Briefly.
life. But I had that shift with another group of guys, and I started bringing that because I wanted to do stuff like "Thanks for the Memories" by Fall Out Boy and "I Write Sins, Not Tragedies" by Panic. I wanted to do that stuff, but I remember what it was. It was Linkin Park. I wanted to start doing like a bunch of Linkin Park songs, but like it's hard to do all of that stuff with like all the samples and whatnot
hmm
with just two guitars. So I bought an SPD um, and made some tracks for those. And I think it might have been Kevin Bothwell who was playing drums with me at the time. Him and I had the idea, I don't remember who had it first, but of just putting dumb sounds on there.
hmm
So like I went through and clipped probably 24 and just put them on there. And it also worked out, some of the longer ones made it a bit easier for me to play guitar and text the band the requests and take requests and talk with somebody and not have there be dead air,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it started as like those first like 24, and then Ethan just started loading a bunch, and it was like every couple of weeks he would come in, not tell us that he loaded some, and then just spring it on us in the middle of the shift. So I think that's how that started. So it was once again, much like the talkback mic, was started as something that was supposed to be professional and ended up not being in the funniest way.
Never underestimate a musician's immaturity,
Yeah.
especially if we get bored.
Yes,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, those are hilarious. And a pad like that. So how I had a question about building tracks,
Mhm.
but it's really fucking boring. So I'm gonna pivot. Um I could probably just ask you at some
Yeah,
point
dude.
off of yeah. Um I think Ethan is hilarious. And how has humor become part of the show, or was it always?
Oh,
Even
it was
though that's a
always.
newer element to the show.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's always been
Oh, it's always been like
excellent.
any time that it's kind of not busy, like our goal is to make each other laugh.
Yeah.
And then much like we were talking about the confidence thing, where if you're having a good time and you breathe confidence, then people will follow,
hmm
right? So it's the same thing where like if we're having fun and we're laughing and cutting up, like even if we're destroying a song, like we're making it through, but it's nowhere near the record,
hmm
people find it just as entertaining, if not more entertaining. which is, I mean, you get the occasional people who are like, "I just don't like the records." Like, yeah, no shit.
Right. Sure.
You know, name the last song that you heard that had a meme in the middle of it.
Right.
You know, but we're having fun, and like, I think people grasp onto that like human aspect of it.
Mhm.
So it's always been there for sure.
Mhm.
And it also helps that the four of us, Spencer, Chris, Ethan, and I, have such a chemistry and such a same kind of humor. Like, it's wild
Yeah.
how similar our humor is. So that also helps in that, like, it's not one of those things where it's very rare. It does happen, but it's very rare that somebody will say something or reference something or whatever, and like one or more people in the band are like, "What?"
Okay.
You know, we
Yeah,
just all
sure.
have the same. We're like on the same wavelength
Yeah.
as far as that goes. So yeah, it's always been there. Uh, especially when we're bored. Especially when we're bored, because it just, I mean, it's like you're cutting up with your buddies. It makes
Yeah.
time go way
Right.
faster.
Oh, that's great.
And being realistic, like you can't really have Will and not have some kind of comedy, even if it's purely
Yeah.
accidental and destructive. So I'm playing with this kid, and at the time he was very much a kid.
Sure.
We're playing Margaritaville, and
The song or the place?
the place,
Okay.
and I forgot my clutch.
I'm sorry. Did you play Margaritaville that night?
Probably.
Good.
Probably.
Okay. Cool. You can move on. I was hung up on
this
that.
was legit like a decade ago. So,
Oh God.
So,
Yeah,
okay, no
well,
clutch. Yeah.
no hi-hat clutch. And Will's like, "Oh, I've got some tape." So I'm like, "All right, toss it here." And instead of tossing it,
Oh God.
he fucking launches it up into the neon Margaritaville sign above the stage.
The like
Yeah.
custom Margaritavilles.
And glass is raining down on me.
Dude.
And
Okay. Yeah.
he's like 3 feet from me. There was no reason.
That's okay. Yeah. It's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, it should be said that there was one of those like giant drum shields in front of you. So my original goal was to just get it over the drum shield.
Oh, I
It
get
went
you.
over.
It definitely went over the drum shield. The issue is
It kept going.
I stopped playing sports at like 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great example of why I stopped playing sports.
One of my favorite. If I do anything athletic-y
Mhm.
that goes wrong, it's always, "This is why I picked band."
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But that is a memory I will never forget. That and us driving down the road like 5 miles before we realized that the trailer's not actually attached to the vehicle.
Dude, I still talk
Whoa.
about that.
Like it I don't know if it was and just wasn't locked down, but we were dragging it by the fucking chain is what we were
Yeah.
doing.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, that was fun.
You guys have a history. You guys have a playing history
Yeah,
together. That's
yeah.
cool. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't put that together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a while. We haven't got to play together in
Mhm.
a long time, but for a long time we played together a lot.
That's
Mhm.
awesome. Oh, that's great.
In fact, I'm going to call you out on this because I think it's a good point to get across,
Mhm.
and it's going to sound like I'm attacking you,
Let's
but
do
I
it.
am not. But you do not hire me for any of your gigs.
Ethan is there a lot.
You, I'm not attacking you. You don't
Yeah.
have to defend yourself. Because I say the same thing about Josh. He
Mhm.
does not hire me.
Mhm.
And it's because he knows what I do.
Mhm.
And that's not right for what he wants.
Yeah.
He'll play a gig with me and we'll have a blast and everything's great.
Yeah.
But he knows that if he hired me, he's hiring me because I'm his friend,
Mhm.
not because I'm the best for the job.
Man, isn't that such a tough thing?
It can be. I think in this industry, it's really hard to separate business and friendship
Yeah.
because no matter what, we're making music together. That's an intimate thing.
Yeah.
We feel connected.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so to one, have that kind of insight into you and what you want and what you need for your show to be like, I love you. I can't have you right now.
Yeah.
And to have that maturity. And then to have the maturity to be like, you know what? I know I'm not good for your show.
Right.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, if you called me as an emergency sub I would be shitting bricks all night because I don't know those songs. I
Yeah.
don't do them.
Right.
You would call a Panic at the Disco song, and I'd be like, motherfucker, I've heard it
Right.
1,000 times 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And so neither one of us would leave that night happy.
Yeah.
And understanding that makes relationships so much easier.
Yeah.
Because I know if you call me for a gig, you know what I do.
Yeah.
I can go into that gig confident that you called me for the right reason.
Right.
And not just because, oh, I like him.
Right.
Which is a huge reason.
Oh, absolutely.
You definitely call people you like.
Yeah.
But you also want to make sure they can do the job.
Yeah.
And so I want to say thank you for not putting me in situations where I'm going to hate myself.
In the same way, thank you for not putting me in situations where I'm going to hate myself. Because you absolutely could call me for like a 90s country gig and I would know 5 songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I would flounder the whole night.
You say that, but I would call you for a 90s country gig knowing that it's not going to be like the record, but it's going to be cool as shit.
It'll be confidently.
But I've heard you do 90s stuff.
Dude, you know what's funny is I played Good Time by Alan Jackson for the first time a couple months ago on like a pickup gig with a friend. It was a request, you know, like the other band or the other parts of the band like pretty much knew it. And I'm reading the chord chart and we're on verse like 6. And I had heard the chorus because it was like a TikTok audio for a while, but like I hadn't listened to the song like top to bottom ever. And we're on like verse 6. I'm like, geez, man, how long is this song? Why is there 4 solos? What is happening?
It's a long end.
And it would be, I imagine it would be like the same thing of like, if you came to play with me and we played like Welcome Home by Coheed and Cambria or something like that.
Oh, yeah. No,
it's like,
no. You're going to get like a 4 on the floor whole time. Like, no chance it's going to sound like the song.
But yeah, the maturity to like realize as a musician though, like I think that's something that's not talked about enough, man. That's a, I guess, a unique mentality, or at least something that's not talked about like out loud.
I can't think of any other industry where that's like a big presence.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's difficult because like you said, like in order to play music, quote unquote, right, correctly, like you are connected. Like it is like a sixth sense kind of thing. So like to have that connection with somebody, but like also know like you said, like you wouldn't be right for my gig because you don't play those songs normally.
yeah.
You know. And also to realize as a musician, like I love that person. I love hanging out and talking with them. I love getting dinner with them. I love, you know, being their friend. But like, I'm just not going to work well for that gig.
Yeah.
Is such a like a thing that I don't think most people have the confidence enough to say.
And it's a two-way street. So like, if you did hire me for something and then decided I wasn't the guy for the job and then you had to fire me.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like that would suck. That doesn't feel good either side because we're friends.
Right.
But like, if I have the maturity to be like, you know what, I understand. It's fine. Like this doesn't hurt us personally. You have to have the maturity to be like, okay, I'm still going to like not be weird about it. Like if it was an awkward breakup or something, like we can actually still be friends.
Yeah.
And then like all that comes down to communication and having the confidence to not just be like, okay, well now I'm scared of you, so we don't talk anymore.
Right.
And that happens. And that I think is way more of a tragedy than losing a gig. Because every gig is temporary.
Yeah.
There's not a single gig that you can be like, all right, I am confident this is my forever gig. Because the second you are, you're done.
Yeah,
the
right.
venue burns down or you're fired or lose an arm or something happens.
Yeah, right.
There are so many ways to rip that Band-Aid off, though.
Yeah.
Something happens with the event. So many things out of your control that could lead you to that, oh, this gig wasn't permanent. Oh, there's so much impermanence here that, like, you could find survival and a new norm within that sort of chaos, which is strange. And you're right, I don't know of another industry. I just have to think harder, but I mean, it's a very unique line of work, certainly, but it's very personal. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unavoidable to like really cultivate something personal with who you're sharing those songs with. You're
Yeah.
expressing those songs together. You're going to share something. So yeah, that's strange when it ends. I know. Yeah.
But why ruin a permanent friendship over an impermanent gig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you just be like, dude, I'm so sorry and I know this sucks, but
Yeah.
I've got to go with somebody else
Mhm.
and we can do something else together later.
Yeah.
And it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like some of my most disappointing moments were when I got fired and that ended that friendship.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's two-sided. I can't fix it by myself.
Right.
So there's definitely a level of you have to understand the situation and like, yeah, it's personal. It hurts. It
Mhm.
sucks when somebody you trust and you love being around and love playing with is like, I can't do that.
Mhm.
But pull your pants up,
Yeah.
smile, shake hands, be like, all right, cool. Well, when you get a little bit different gig and I fit better,
Yeah.
let's fucking rock it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very much like I think I've really implored this over the last couple years and something I've been working on, I guess like passively, not necessarily actively, but is like in some ways in this kind of example, especially like treating those relationships as you would like a romantic relationship,
Mhm.
right? If you don't talk about the problem and you just let the elephant sit in the corner and don't address it, you're gonna break up.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
It's not gonna last. Much in the same as like like a musician like business relationship. Like if you don't say the thing out loud where it's like, I still want to be friends,
Hmm.
you're not right for this gig, but it doesn't mean I don't like you and it doesn't mean I won't hire you when the right gig comes along or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
If you have a problem with the way somebody's acting, and you just don't say anything about it until you get irritated enough to fire them or leave the gig yourself,
Hmm.
you know, then like that's going to be the outcome unless you sit down and have the hard conversations.
Yeah, you have to address it before it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, move the cup when it's on the edge of the counter,
Mhm.
not when it falls
Yeah.
over.
I love that analogy.
Certainly.
And that's very much how my brain thinks.
Mhm.
And then I'm the kind of person that even if it's not worth bringing up and it's gonna cause like if I think it and I'm like, I need to talk about this,
Yeah.
it comes out.
Yeah.
If I don't directly do it, it's passive aggressive until you hate me.
Right.
So I have to just be like, hey, this really kind of irked me.
Mhm.
Let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
And so many people can't handle that.
I
Yeah.
know.
And first, I don't know how you got this far in the industry with that kind of like frail skin
Mhm.
because everybody hates everybody for everything. It seems like
Oh,
most of
dude,
the
it's
time.
a tough industry for sure.
Like even people that I know absolutely love each other and play together all the time. If you really start a conversation, like
Mhm.
it instantly turns into, yeah, man, they're great, but dude, their timing sucks. And it's like, did you tell them?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like how people say in the again the parallel of a romantic relationship,
Mhm.
like you can date somebody for a year, and then you move in with them, and then you really learn
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like being on a consistent gig with somebody is like moving in with
It
a
is.
partner,
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, of
right?
course.
You learn things about being around them and playing with them consistently that you didn't know in the dating phase when you just like
Right.
played occasional gigs with them. So like much to your point in a romantic relationship, if you wanted to succeed, the second you realize something before it has a chance to I guess like fester, right?
Mhm.
If you address it 9 times out of 10, unless you get that one like person who just can't take criticism, 9 times out of 10, it goes way better.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
a way better outcome,
Mhm. Especially, like, again, before it's a problem.
Mhm.
Because if you're addressing it's like, "Hey, um, I'm not really understanding why you do this,
Mhm.
and it's kinda weird and bugging me. Can
Yeah.
we talk about it?"
Yeah.
Rather than, "Dude, will you fucking stop?"
That's yeah. Because I don't think you can come back from resentment.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
once you start to feel that,
Mhm.
you're everything is
it.
lost.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Mhm. No,
Yeah.
it's hard because then that's the expectation, and it's no longer you're noticing when it's the problem.
Mhm.
It's it's always the problem, and you can't notice when it's not there.
Mhm.
It's just there. It's like having something in your eye, and you can't get it out, and you just see it, but, like, you don't know where it is or why it's there, and it's
Yeah.
just there,
Yeah, yeah.
and then even once you get it, you're just, like, still kinda paranoid and looking for it.
Mhm.
It's that. It doesn't matter that you didn't do it for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
You did it, and it's there.
Right, it sits in your subconscious.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that being said, I think a lot of musicians kinda have that mentality of like, "Oh, I played with him and it was awful. He didn't know any of the songs.
Mhm.
Like, he didn't play anything right." And then it's, "Well, that was 10 years ago, and now dude's a fucking stud."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
things change.
Yeah, people
So,
grow.
that's another great reason not to abandon that friendship
Yeah.
because, yeah, like, maybe his timing did suck 10 years ago, and
Mhm.
maybe somebody told him and he fucking fixed it, and
Right.
now he's solid.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And if not, okay,
Yeah. Then you know that.
have fun on that gig and be like, "All right, well, that's just a thing that I gotta understand now."
Right.
And yeah, it's always a thing. And keeping in mind, and I've said this a million times, and then I'll kinda get off my soapbox here, but we don't suck on purpose.
Mhm.
We're trying.
Mhm.
And I think if you keep that in mind, it's a lot easier to not get upset. Like,
Yeah.
dude's giving it his all. Like
Mhm.
he's swinging for the fences, and yeah, it's not hitting, but man, he's trying.
Yeah.
And effort goes so far.
Absolutely.
So a lot to kind of take in there about
Yeah.
how relationships and stuff work.
Yeah.
Um, something you brought up briefly before we started recording, that kind of leads into this
Mhm.
is not necessarily just politics, but
Mhm.
just general ideas about life.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of us from a lot of different places that
Yeah.
are completely different.
Mhm.
So jump into that. Give me your thoughts on how you entertain people that are different from you or
Man.
think differently.
So, especially in today's day and age, like everything's been, I feel like everybody sits on edge,
Hmm.
you know. And that's not to say it's a left problem, that's not to say it's a right problem. I like to think of myself, it's hard to look at this objectively, being that I am inside my own body.
Yeah.
But I like to think of myself as kind of, center left leaning. That's just how I grew up. That's, I've explored both sides. Um, but that's kind of where I've ended up. And it's interesting, man. So I kind of break it down into the three things that I personally do, right? Which is I work for artists, I work on Broadway, and I do my own thing, right? And what you can and cannot do in those three things are very different goalposts,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
As an artist, I technically can do whatever I want.
Hmm.
I should probably stay away from fringe stuff unless I want that to just be my whole audience,
Hmm.
right? Um, but like, even on Broadway, like they definitely have a more lax expectation because they're, every bar down there just wants you to create a party and sell alcohol. That's
Yes.
like the big thing, right? So you can get away with a little bit of it, but not much. And working for artists, you have to read the room definitely,
Yeah.
because I've worked for artists who are super left leaning. I've worked for artists who are super right leaning. At the end of the day, they're people,
Hmm.
you know, you can kind of tell, like, you can like test the waters, right? And tell, like, oh, this person probably isn't going to like it if I say this thing. So I should just keep that to myself if I want to keep this gig,
Yeah.
you know? Um, but yeah, politics is a very interesting thing because it's always been a part of music. I believe that art in general is inherently political in one way,
Hmm.
shape, or form, right?
Absolutely.
So I've been told, like, keep politics out of music before, and I think that's a wild statement because of that. Um, but to that point, there's a lot of artists who somehow, even today, remain like entirely politically neutral. I feel like more so in the last 5 to 6 years, like it's been harder and harder to do that for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at Jelly Roll
Mhm.
and the Grammys.
Mhm.
He purposefully tried to stay as
Mhm.
non-political as possible
Yeah.
and then got shit on for that.
Right.
So being non-political is a political statement.
Yeah.
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 And so, yeah, it's a very, very sticky situation.
Yeah.
And me personally, I approach it in the business world and in my career, I approach it very much the same way you approach a toddler that's trying to get into something that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, let's look over here. What is
Yeah.
that? Like, oh
Yeah.
man.
Right.
And then they're all of a sudden like, yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. We're good.
Yeah.
Um, and then the understanding that it all comes from a place of, I think people genuinely want what's best and have a completely different understanding of what that might be and why.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always missing pieces to the information.
Mm-hmm.
So never attribute to malice what can be explained by ignorance.
Yeah.
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 It's
That was
hard to keep that,
Yeah.
but I firmly believe that, like, if they don't see something wrong with it, it's because they don't have that information.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. Like, if all you see is something wrong with it, then you're missing the part that they see.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you really, really want to dive in and try to find the common ground and have a conversation,
Yeah.
it almost always comes out with a like, okay, we think the same thing in different ways.
Mhm.
It's really hard to get to that without
It's
pissing people off.
it is. It's man, I always go into those conversations personally because this is just the way I was raised and it's something I still agree with in that like at the end of the day, first of all, we are all people,
Mhm.
you know. Don't treat somebody as the sum of their ideologies because people's ideologies should always change. Information always changes. Your opinion should change with that. You
Absolutely.
know, the information thing's hard nowadays because there's so much like either partial information to like fit somebody's agenda or just straight up wrong information,
Mhm.
you know, everywhere. It's difficult, you know, with us having tiny computers in our pockets.
Yeah.
You know, everybody can have an opinion that sounds like a fact. But I love having those conversations, even with people that I don't fully agree with or I entirely disagree with.
Mhm.
Um, and I enjoy having those conversations because while I might disagree with their bigger ideology, I always treat those conversations as a learning experience of like, well, why does this person think this way?
yeah.
Mhm.
And they usually say at least one thing that I've never thought about and makes me, you know, think a different way. And it teaches me something about myself, whether it's like, okay, I definitely disagree with that because of this specific thing, or wow, I've never thought about that.
Mhm.
And I think if more people approached those high pressure, high intensity conversations like that,
Yeah.
of like well, even if I disagree with this person, I would love to know why they think this, and I would love to know why I disagree with it. And like at the end of it, and this is the big part, is we can still be friends.
Mhm.
You know, I don't have to agree with you. You know,
Well, and to be 100% fair, 99.999% of the time, your opinion doesn't fucking matter. It
no,
doesn't change a damn thing.
it's
Yeah.
your opinion,
Like,
man.
if I think that everybody should have to paint their skin purple to go outside,
Yeah.
cool. It's not gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
And so you can be like, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, but it's a little crazy for sure. Like it just who exactly cares, especially about the stuff that you like post on social media.
Hmm.
You know, I told you a little before we started, like I for a long time I just kind of buried my head in the sand because I was like, I just hate this whole discourse and this whole like pitting people against each other. Like it fundamentally goes against what I believe
Yeah.
in that like I just said, we can disagree and we can still, not want to see each other dead in the streets. We can still be friends
Yeah.
or at least exist inside the same country as long as you're not like actively hurting somebody, you know. But like something I've been slowly trying to teach myself the best I can and, you know, enough to be able to think about something or a subject or an issue, you know, bipartially and have an opinion on it that's as informed as I can make myself,
Mhm.
right? Which is the best that you can do. Um, and something that I firmly believe in is that most of this country is center. They might lean one way or another, but like, I don't know if this statistic is true, but somebody told me the other day that 27% of the population votes,
Yeah.
Mm.
which leaves the other, what,
Mhm.
83%, that doesn't. So it's like, how much of those people are in the center and then all the noise is just being made by, people who have extreme opinions because it's
Yeah.
easy to rage bait people, you know?
So that's the thing that I've recently come to understand. Like the the hate is obviously manufactured,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
but I was viewing it as okay, well, these people have, these extreme versions of these ideas,
Hmm.
and the hate pulls people to one side or the other. And then I look at the division with the Super Bowl halftime shows,
Hmm.
and I'm like, they don't give a shit what side you're. That's marketing.
Hmm.
That hate was purely to sell tickets.
Oh, yeah. And it worked.
And and then I start looking at everything else, and that's so I think we're past the era of sex sells,
Yeah.
and we are in the era of hate sells.
Yeah.
So, and the thing, and it was political ideas I agree with that got me to thinking about this, because there was a company, I saw an ad, they were talking about things I agreed with. I went to the website, started looking at the product. That has nothing to do with whether I should buy soap or not.
That's crazy.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it was
No,
just like a light
absolutely.
bulb. It was like, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Like they don't, it's not real.
Hmm.
None of it's real.
Yeah.
They don't really hate anybody.
Yeah.
They want you to hate people to buy their hate.
Yeah.
That's it. It's to
Absolutely.
get the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
And
are ads attached to everything.
mhm,
Hmm.
Literally everything
Oh,
now.
literally
mhm.
Yeah.
everything.
And I mean, I it dinged on me because of a soap company, but what are politicians doing? They're asking for money.
Yeah.
And if they can say, "Hey, this is the bad guy. Hate
Hmm.
this with me."
Right.
That's the same as you being on stage being like, "Hey, join me in my journey.
Hmm.
Put $20 in the bucket."
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm.
Except you're doing it with hey, this is my personality, connect with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And they're doing it with hey, let's hate this guy together and connect with that.
Right.
This is also my personality. Connect with that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But
It's wild, and a big part of like why I've stopped sticking my head in the sand about it is like I firmly believe that, like I said before, most of this country like doesn't care about these like fringe issues
mm-mm,
that it seems like everybody cares about. Like they couldn't really be bothered typically, and I don't feel like those people speak up enough. And that's why these other sides, again, I'm left leaning. I wouldn't describe myself as one way or the other. But like, even in just like, you know, sharing, like reposting stories on Instagram and stuff, like I've been told, and I'm not going to say by which faction of my job, but I've been told, like, hey, maybe don't do that. This is
mm-hmm,
a light warning if you want to keep your job. And I think that's wild with how inherently political everything is, but also I kind of understand it because of how inherently political everything is,
mm-hmm.
and how much people care about politics, or at least claim they care about politics more now than they did 10, 15 years ago,
Yeah.
you know? But it's an unfortunate time. I try to remain optimistic. I don't always succeed. Most of the time, I don't succeed. But that's all you can do, man, is like have conversations with people and like listen to them, even if it's something that immediately is like, no, I hate that. I don't agree with that. It's like, all right, let's get past that initial like
Mhm.
freak out and like talk with the person and see why they feel that way. You might change their mind. They might change your mind. And I feel like that whole loss of that section of the
Mhm.
conversation and immediately like people just shutting down when they're like, no, that's not my opinion is a good portion of how we got
Yeah.
here.
No,
Yeah.
they turn a spectrum of ideas into a binary decision.
Mhm.
It's a yes or no.
Mhm.
And that's not at all what these conversations are about.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a million colors in between the color black and the color white, which I know are technically shades, but whatever, man.
we're not those artists.
Yeah. I don't do well with visual art. I make sound. But yeah, like there's a million, shades of colors in between that. And the fact the ideology that there's just one or the other is crazy. So
Mhm.
basically I've been louder about it than I have before because I feel like there's a whole section of people who don't raise their own voices,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that those people should just educate yourself.
Mhm.
It's hard to do. It's a lot of like, I think it was easier for me because I grew up in a time where I don't remember a part of my life without the internet, right?
Yeah.
So I learned from a really early age, like, oh, that's fake, you know,
Mhm.
and not a lot of people have that, which is understandable. It's a hard thing to learn.
Well, and like with everything else, like wherever your knowledge is on
Mhm.
a subject, there's a next layer and a next
Oh
layer
man.
and a
Yeah.
next layer.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you could get to a point where you're like, "No, I'm pretty confident this is what I think
Mhm.
based on the information." And then you peel back that next layer and you're like, "But I understand why my idea may not be perfect."
Yeah.
And then the next layer and it's like, "Okay, so now things are starting to fall apart."
Right.
And then the next layer and you're like, "Okay, well, since I didn't understand how it worked and now I do, I think this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you hear the phrase common sense thrown around a lot.
Mhm.
And common sense, like there's so many great examples of where what seems like the common sense answer isn't how it works.
Mhm.
But the second you understand how it works, the answer is common sense to you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of my favorite examples is speed when you're driving. And the faster you're going, the time you're saving is diminishing. The returns are diminishing.
Mhm.
And so, like, once you're at like 70 miles an hour, going any faster than that is a negligible difference.
Mhm.
But common sense says if I go faster, I'll get there sooner.
Yeah.
And it's not until you like really look at it. And so if you're going 1 mile an hour and you speed up to 2 miles an hour,
Mhm.
you cut your time in half.
Mhm.
But if you're going 70 miles an hour and you go 75 miles an hour,
Mhm.
you didn't just add 1 mile an hour, you added 5
Yeah.
and made almost no difference whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's not common sense how that would work
Right.
until you understand how it works.
Yeah.
And so I say a lot of times common sense makes sense for common problems.
Mhm.
Simple solutions make sense for simple problems.
Right.
So if your answer to a problem is this is all you have to do, you're probably wrong.
Yeah.
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 There's 1,000 things you're not considering.
Right.
Um, and you can apply that across the political landscape. Like
Mhm.
gun laws. I want stricter gun laws. There's 1,000 things that hurts.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I still want them? I have to consider these things.
Right.
It's not just oh, well, people are shooting people, take guns away.
Yeah.
It's not that simple.
Right.
Vice versa. Don't pass laws because it's a right
Right.
is not that simple.
Right.
So you can't, if you can sum it up in a paragraph, you don't have the answer.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
bottom
impossible
line.
to know everything.
Hmm.
It's impossible especially in a world where we have how many billion people just in our country, and all the inherent problems that happen with that. It's impossible to think about all of the issues
Hmm.
equally as deeply. It's impossible to peel back those layers that you were talking
Yeah.
about. So, like, have conversations with people, let people have conversations, you know, and just go into every conversation in that, like, I have my thoughts, but I guarantee you this person has other equally valid thoughts,
Hmm.
you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. And talking about thoughts and valid thoughts and politics, we should talk about the halftime shows
Yeah.
because I have thoughts, lots of thoughts, and confusion and misunderstandings for sure.
Mhm.
So let's start with, I didn't know who Bad Bunny was at all.
Okay.
Mhm.
Never heard of him until the controversy.
Mhm.
So there's so much self-education that has become like so important over the past few years, just about like socio-political landscape,
Yeah.
different groups of people in our country alone, what affects them. And so you were talking, Will, about like pre-internet age, and everything pre-internet for me was just shaped by the echo chamber that like
Yeah.
kind of surrounded me.
Mhm.
And it's already a huge step to take one step outside of that and say, wait a second, this can't be perfect.
Mhm.
What my parents said surely wouldn't apply to every single group of people
Right.
in the world. So, and there takes some self-education into different groups of people. But like, you have to have the willingness to do that
Oh,
first off.
yeah.
So many people don't. And, I don't know. I felt like that was important before we continue.
No,
Yeah,
no,
Of
I
like,
completely agree.
yeah,
And
sure.
and if you have only ever lived in your hometown and had your hometown ideas and you never left that bubble,
Mhm.
then yeah, that is the reality there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And all of those ideas and thoughts apply. And it doesn't make sense when somebody brings something new in because that's never applied to you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't apply to you.
Yeah.
And as far as your worldview goes, it doesn't apply, period.
Mhm.
And so I was told when I was younger, like the best thing you can ever do is leave your hometown.
Mhm.
And after having left my hometown, I firmly agree.
Mhm.
Even if you decide to go back, like you step out of that bubble and you realize, okay, I didn't know anything about anything else. And now I can take that information and make educated decisions with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I might not have known many Bad Bunny songs or would have necessarily thought to like dive into the music before the
Yeah.
show necessarily, but I'd heard the name and I knew the popularity. And then it's like, well, when you hear something that's like, hey, here's the most streamed artist in the world who happens to not be English speaking, I'm like, oh, that's already not a far-fetched idea. That's
Yeah, right.
also already very realistic off the bat.
Yeah.
And also, most streamed artist, of course I'm interested.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, all right. I had the interest there to begin with. And I think, you know, keep going. I'll shut up. I'm very undercaffeinated. And it's like I have a lot of thoughts and none of them are coming out.
That's the
I feel that.
ADHD.
Right? Yeah.
Or autism, who knows?
Yeah.
Yes is the
Yes.
answer. So what was your knowledge level on Bad Bunny?
Much of like Brian's is like I'd heard the name before, but I listened to screaming music a lot.
Yeah.
So like I love and
Not on your
appreciate
radar.
yeah, no, not on my radar. I love and appreciate, Hispanic music. It was actually a pretty large part of like the very beginning of my like music journey.
I wish it would have been mine. Holy crap.
Dude, yeah. Like learning just the like basic level that I learned and, was interested in, like I just enjoy rhythm a lot.
Mhm.
Even still, like a lot of my like favorite like rock artists, like Paramore especially is a great example of this, implore a lot of
Oh,
like
yeah.
rhythm things, right? So I've always been drawn to that. So of course I like Hispanic music, but yeah, I don't regularly listen to it. Doesn't mean like you said, it's not the most streamed artist in the world, you know.
Yeah.
So kind of akin to that whole like bubble thing that you were talking
Mhm.
about leaving your hometown. Like this is a great way to say that and tie Bad Bunny and the whole why he was chosen for the halftime show thing in that like yeah, Bad Bunny might not have been a part of your bubble. However,
He had a big ass bubble.
he had a big ass bubble. So just because it wasn't a part of your bubble
Uh-huh.
doesn't mean it's not a huge thing.
Right.
Maybe venture outside your bubble and grow.
And that being said, like, I'm not his target audience.
Yeah.
Like, he's not making music for me.
Mhm.
I'm almost 40. I don't get into pop,
Yeah.
much less Latin pop,
Right.
like, much less any hip hop influenced anything for the most part anyway.
Mhm.
Like, uh, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Until that, I couldn't have told you anything about him. I'd heard the name.
Yeah.
That was my level of familiarity.
Mhm.
Huge artist,
Yeah. Giant.
like massive following,
Yeah.
like at the top echelon of echelons.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, looking at it, I'm like, sure, yeah, I totally see why he got a halftime show.
Right.
I totally see why he got a halftime show.
Yeah.
I am still geeking out about the Bruno Mars halftime show over a decade ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's not for me.
Right.
And then I watch it and I'm like, I love the artistry.
Mhm.
Musically, it's not my forte, but musically, it's great.
Yeah.
Rhythmically, it's super fun.
Yeah.
The melodies are fantastic.
Mhm.
Lyrically, it sounds good. I don't know what he's saying until I
Yeah.
Google it, but
Right.
it sounds good.
Yeah.
The imagery of the show, the sets, the
Yeah.
dancers, the everything, like, from an artist's perspective, that was great.
Mhm.
Like, it was engaging. It was familiar without being overly familiar
Mhm.
and still completely different.
Hmm.
And so looking at it, I don't have a single complaint about that show,
Yeah. No, it was great.
except
Oh.
I, I have two. One is definitely probably an autism thing,
Okay.
and one is absolutely a old man thing.
Okay.
The autism thing.
Right.
Dude's mic was in his mouth.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
driving me nuts. The whole freaking. It was like his lips were on top of the mic.
I was aware of that, but then also I'm like, oh, that's how I think the vocal is approached. I think that there's like
Okay.
like intentional artistic decision behind it.
Similar to like the Billie Eilish thing where she's like really
kind of.
like right here.
Yeah, I think
You know?
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm a drummer, and I've made a
Understandable.
whole career over being uncomfortable to look good.
Yeah.
Right.
Moving stuff to where it looks right,
Right.
whether I like it there or not. So
Mhm.
I don't like that. It didn't look
That's
good. It
okay.
bothered
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then my old man opinion.
Yeah.
The format that the halftime shows have taken on
Mhm.
with the scenes and the sets and the changes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It doesn't feel like a concert. And I miss that.
I get that.
That is interesting. I don't like disagree with it. Obviously, I grew up in a like you put a floor wedge and you have a loud amp and you just like send it. You
And
know,
if you're really good, your stage lights up.
if you're really good, your stage lights up. Yes. Obviously, especially in like pop music, like production has gone, with technology has gone just insane, which is
Yeah.
rad. So it's difficult because like there's definitely a part of me that agrees with that and that like I would just love to see a band. I remember being peeved that they made the Red Hot Chili Peppers play to a track
Mm-hmm.
and that it wasn't them playing. It was just live vocals and the quiet way that they like just protested that or
Yeah.
like made sure that people knew is they just didn't have anything plugged into their instruments.
Yeah.
You know, I remember being peeved about that and then like kind of understanding that it was more of a statement of like, well, this is where the industry's heading and we don't really like it. You know, Red Hot Chili Peppers are like a band. I would be very surprised
Yeah.
if they ran any sort of tracks ever. You know, that's just the kind of artists that they are.
But even then, like once you sit down and you understand the reasons why,
Right.
it's like, I don't like it, but I get why you made that decision.
Right. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's difficult because there's part of me that like I would just love to see like a band playing like Prince did when he did the halftime show or Michael Jackson did when he played the halftime show. But also it's difficult because you look at, you know, like Kendrick's performance last year and then uh the conglomerate of rappers with like Snoop Dogg and
Yeah.
Dre and Eminem and you know Bad Bunny's show and like the visual aspect of it is just insane.
It is.
And it's like you can literally sit and dissect a 10-minute show?
Yeah.
Something like that. You can sit and dissect that for hours because it was just so rich with the amount of visual things that were happening. Like it's insane. I should what's the opposite of preface? You know, pofist, whatever. I should say I've not seen it. I've only seen clips of it. I played 4 to 8 and then 10 to close yesterday, so I was like firmly in the middle of doing something when that happened. But from the clips that I've seen, like I've already seen all over my social media, like just people breaking down so many segments of it, which is really really cool. So it's a tough thing.
It is.
It's a tough thing because it's artistry, but in like a different way.
Well, it's like it feels like a music video
Yeah.
instead of a concert.
It's a live music video.
And that's very much like the thing. And that's the thing with most pop artists now and everything that's not essentially a rock band is very much theatrical in the video telling a story. In the visuals telling a story. And I totally understand that and why it's moved to that and why they're doing that. And it makes perfect sense to me. And I'm old and don't like it.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
But there's nothing that says it's not going to get back to them.
No,
The next time they have a rock theme a halftime show, it'll be band with wedges, I'm sure. Or maybe more active elements, more than just live vocals. But I think the more pop artists have become a little more like conceptual and cinematic and stuff. Lady Gaga was, and The Weeknd was certainly but I think that they lean more toward a pop act because that's going to be the most universal among viewers. And you kind of can't go wrong. So I understand it not being a rock band. And, I get that people are upset. Hey, it has been a country act in 20 plus years. And I get that, but it's not for everyone where you have Bad Bunny. Somebody could listen to this right now and be like, well, Bad Bunny's not for everybody. But I think it was more of an inclusive halftime show because you didn't need to understand Spanish to get it.
Right.
And if the most universal thing is rhythm and just enjoyment of the music, then it was fun. It was certainly fun as hell, and I enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
I get it.
And you know what? If you didn't like it and it wasn't for you, that's okay because that's how art works.
Yeah. I was just gonna say like that's back to the bubble thing for a second, right? Like, give yourself a chance to like it.
Yeah.
Don't go into it like, well, this guy speaks Spanish, so I'm not going to like it. Give yourself a chance to like it. If you don't like it, then you don't like it.
Dude, how many rock guys do you know that came to town and were like, I don't really like country music? And then now they're like, I will take every 90s country gig you want to throw my way.
Yeah, dude, because that's art. That's appreciating art for art. Like, I'm mainly a rock guy. I still love country music. I still love hip hop. I still, like a bunch of different kinds of music.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely just appreciate music as a whole conglomerate. So, like, it's okay if it's not for you.
Yeah.
Like, give it a shot.
Yeah.
Everything's not for everybody.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in this world. There's a lot of people in this world.
A lot of different.
And it would be one thing if they took like some like no-name artist,
Yeah.
and put him there. That would be entirely understandable.
And I think that's kind of where that initial layer came from, is because a lot of people didn't know who he was.
Right.
And if somebody is playing the halftime show, you would think they're popular enough. You've heard of them.
Yeah.
You weren't in his bubble.
Right.
Again, he had the bubble.
Yeah.
You just weren't in it.
No, you know what it was for me? It was a 5-second process of like, well, who is that? Why is he playing the halftime show?
Mhm.
Oh, he has this many people that listen to him every day. Understandable.
Done.
Mhm.
That was it.
If I'm a CEO of a company,
Yeah.
and I have the data,
Right.
that says this is the right decision,
Right.
that's literally all I care about.
Yeah.
Like, I guarantee you, the best band on Broadway does not get the best shift.
No.
The band that sells the most alcohol gets the best shift,
Yep.
because it's a data-driven industry.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And you want the person playing the halftime show to have the biggest reach they can have.
Yeah.
To pull in viewers.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
And so if you weren't that guy, that's okay.
Right.
There were enough of them that you didn't need to be.
Right.
Now, let's talk about the other halftime show.
Yeah. I saw clips of it, but coming from country radio, I worked actively with 3 of the 4 featured artists.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm not unfamiliar with that show either.
Yeah.
So taking the political stand out of it completely
Yeah.
and just comparing the performances. If you would have taken that out of this context and it was just a televised performance, it was fine. But it was just fine.
Yeah. The thing about the halftime show is like, for as long as I can remember, right, which, YouTube exists,
Mhm.
so I can go back past before I was
I
born.
can remember a lot.
Yeah, exactly, right? Halftime shows have always been like a coveted, ads during the Super Bowl have
Millions of dollars.
everything is just like super coveted. Like you have to give the absolute best you got and then a little more.
Yeah.
Like it's gotta be insane. And I'm in the same boat of like, I saw clips of Bad Bunny's performances. I've seen clips of
Mhm.
the Turning Point performances. And like you said, it seemed okay. It was a production for sure. It was a professional production.
It was fine.
But I don't know.
I think the mistake was making it a comparison.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Because again, if it had just been like hey, this is a fun televised musical event with some great artists playing some songs, here you go, I'd have been like, cool.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. But that's not what it was. It was hey, this is in direct comparison.
Right.
And you have a stadium full of thousands and thousands of people, thousands of hours of pre-production.
Oh, dude, just
and
the money behind
the time and the effort and the design. And Bad Bunny could literally be awful.
Yeah.
And it would have been a better performance.
Yeah. It's just such not
You
a fair
can't compare
comparison.
them.
Yeah.
No.
It's such not a fair comparison because there's like, like I said, the halftime show, they're not going to half-ass it.
Right.
It's been a coveted thing for longer than I've been alive. So more than 25 years, they're going to have the best of the best in every, like down to the people who break down the stage. They have the best of the best in the industry. Like it's just not a fair comparison because of that fact alone.
That's a legit, the people tearing down the set are like the freaking rocket scientists of tearing down because they have to build, in this case, build a town and take it down in a couple of minutes.
Dude, I think it's crazy when I watch like big festivals happen, You know, it still blows my mind, like, how quickly you watch these giant stages turn over and, like, with the accuracy too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, I can't imagine that level.
In the time it takes me to put my cymbals in a cymbal bag,
Yeah.
they would have completely changed sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
They would have moved your kit halfway across the field.
Oh, yeah. With me on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just not a fair comparison,
So-
man.
so-
I understand the whole like you said, there's not been like a quote unquote country halftime show in a very long time. What did you say it was?
Yeah, that's kind of that's what a lot of people are hung up on is like
Yeah.
I think the last one might have been like 2003 when it was Big and Rich or something, but
Mhm.
you know that
It's been a couple decades for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
and sure, it's not like they would have a country artist be mainstream enough to get the viewership. Like
Oh, absolutely.
I get it, sure. I don't think I have anything terribly poignant other than I just didn't love the protest move angle
Yeah.
behind it. It was more just like, hey, you know, we're going to have our own. If you really want to hear somebody singing in English, there's this one. And like, sorry that that's so inflammatory for me to say on here, but that's kind of what the energy was. And
I mean, it
absolutely.
it was very much made out to be like that. And I'm going to speak up for the artists that decided to play it. And like, they got taken advantage of. You have Brantley Gilbert.
Mhm.
When was the last time you heard about Brantley Gilbert? He hasn't been relevant in a minute.
Mhm.
And so he gets this opportunity to do what is being pitched as this huge, Super Bowl halftime competitor. He has to say yes.
Right.
I mean, if I was in his shoes, I would have took the gig.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then for it to be spun in a hateful manner, and I'll even give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they didn't mean to spin it. I don't actually believe that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
giving them the benefit of the doubt, enough people made that controversial enough to where that's what it was.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
To the point to where the artists were coming out and saying, hey, I don't mean any hate. I want to play a show.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get on stage
I
and
want to
play
take
for
this
people.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they get painted under that light
Yeah.
regardless. And so, that being said, I feel like the artist got completely taken advantage of. And it's a situation where the production wasn't up to the same level.
Right.
The artist's popularity wasn't up to even close to the same level.
Right.
There was no way any kind of metric could compare.
Right.
And so, yeah, to a select fan base, that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
But to that select fan base, it wasn't because Brantley Gilbert was there. It was because it wasn't the other thing.
Well, it's like you said earlier, is that hate unfortunately sells.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and to your point, like I don't know, because it's so not my bubble, so I can't fairly speak on it. But from what I saw from the actual event itself, it seemed like the most inflammatory thing that they said was like what you said. Like
Okay.
if you want to hear an artist sing in English, watch this.
Yeah.
And then the narrative got spun by everybody who was supporting that and
Mm-hmm.
like made it way more hateful than it probably needed to be, which is unfortunate. And I personally think that there's very little, if any, room at all for something like that in
Yeah.
art.
And like,
But that's just me.
Yeah.
I've got very right-wing people
Mhm.
that were like, if you want to do that, great. Like, have a show, do your thing, like whatever. But like, trying to portray it as like morally superior when your headliner is Kid Rock. Like, dude, if you want to go to a Kid Rock show, go to a fucking Kid Rock show. I don't care. Like, I listen to a lot of fucked up shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But like, don't try to make that your platform
Yeah.
and expect me to take you seriously. And like I
Yeah.
said, this is coming from very right-wing people.
Yeah.
And they're like, I support all of this, but
Except
like,
this.
really?
Yeah.
Like you're allowed to just like Kid Rock.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Right.
And like turning that into like something completely separate, like being able to say things like that is something that I'm trying to teach my kids.
Mhm.
Um, a couple of my kids have this very bad habit of they want to explain to you why they like the thing.
Mhm.
So I'll walk in, they'll be watching a cartoon or something, and I'll be like, "What are you watching?" They're like, "Oh, it's this. I like it because X, Y, and Z." And
Mhm.
I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. You like it. Period.
Yeah.
You don't ever have to explain why you like something.
Yeah. That's
You
wild.
don't have to qualify your
Yeah.
preferences. You can have preferences."
Yeah.
Uh, and I feel like there's this massive group of people that feel like they have to defend the things they like.
Mhm.
And that's not the like you can like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. He had an amazing music career.
Yeah.
A lot of people were huge Kid Rock fans.
Yeah.
You can like Kid Rock. It's
Yeah.
okay. Just like I don't have to.
Right.
Just like I can enjoy Bad Bunny's performance and you
Right.
don't have to.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
don't have to explain why. I just like it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to explain why you don't like it.
Yeah.
Like you're adding depth into something that there's no depth. You like it or you don't like it.
Yeah.
I love chicken and dumplings. Hell, I love peanut butter.
I really don't.
No, peanut butter doesn't love you.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Dude's allergic to nuts.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel that.
Peanut
Yeah.
butter will kill him. And I had peanut
My
butter crackers
breakfast-
for breakfast.
My breakfast would have. Oh man.
Yeah, dude.
No.
But like you don't have to qualify
Yeah.
why you like something.
Yeah.
You don't ever have to explain to me why you like Kid Rock. You don't ever have to explain to me why you like Kid Rock. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to have a conversation about it, then you can have a conversation about it. But you
Yeah.
don't have to. I agree with the like. And I think that's good on you because that's a great thing to teach your kids. Like you don't have to unprompted defend why you like something. If somebody wants to have a conversation with you about it, obviously that's a different thing.
Yeah.
And you should know how to articulate, why you like something
Oh, absolutely.
and what it means to you. But just saying oh, I'm watching this. I like it just unprompted. Jumping into that immediately is a crazy
Well,
standard.
it's turning it into a persuasive conversation
Mhm.
to where it's almost like you're not comfortable and confident with yourself enough to have an opinion
Mhm.
without making sure the people around you know why.
Yeah.
And on things that are entirely subjective, that's never the case.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm like, okay, cool, what do you like about it? Well,
Right.
then it becomes
A conversation.
an informative conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not a persuasive. I'm
Right.
not trying to get you to like it
Right.
by giving you all the reasons I like it. I'm explaining to you why I like it so
Yeah.
you understand.
Yeah.
And that's a different thing. But yeah, that is right up there with the whole concept of no is a complete sentence.
Yeah.
Do you want to do X, Y, and Z? No. Cool.
Right.
Again, you don't have to explain it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Especially when it comes to art and consuming art, it's like
Oh yeah.
no one's trying to take away what you like.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right.
And I was being funny before, but I would never judge somebody for liking Kid Rock, for liking music. For no, that's certainly not my MO, and that's a crazy way to go through life, certainly. But also,
Absolutely.
I largely and certainly on a full country scale, I don't think that's happening. I
No.
don't think the invite to Bad Bunny is supposed to, step on Kid Rock fans. That's
Right.
not
I mean,
necessarily.
again, looking
Yeah.
at the metrics, country music today is as popular as it's ever been.
Oh yeah.
And there are so many subgenres of country music right now that whatever version you like is there and performing well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's no reason that you have to get defensive over it like people are trying to take it away.
Yeah. I think that speaks back to the thing I said a while ago where it's this really extreme side and this really extreme side are making a lot of noise, but most of the people who are in between don't super care,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's the majority of people
And let's be honest, this is a really fucked up hill to try to die on.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you know what's gonna happen? The show's gonna happen. The team's gonna win, and then we're gonna get up, go to fucking work tomorrow. That's what we're gonna
And
do.
pretty much, yeah.
Like,
I understand. I can neutrally look at and see why it would be upsetting because, like you said, country music is as popular, like charts, numbers, performance
mhm.
wise, as it's been in a very
I mean,
long time, if
Ella
ever.
Langley
Yeah.
is. I don't know if she's hit #1 on Billboard yet, but she's like dangerously freaking close.
Yeah.
First time a country female has done that in
Yeah.
years. So, like, definitely still a contender.
Right. Yeah. So, like, not having a country, halftime show at some point in the last 20 something plus years is a little crazy. However, like, it's hard because there's so many artists, and especially with social media, like, for better or for worse, like, it's allowed more people to be discovered because most people have either access to internet or know somebody has access to internet or has a phone or knows somebody who has access to a phone, you know. So there's a lot of people out there creating, which is awesome because it's a lot more people who can have their art seen. But with that comes, a lot of those bubbles. So
Mhm.
like, it's a 10 to 15-minute slot during a football game. There's only so much you can put in there and
Yeah.
they cram a lot into it. But like, it happens once a year. So if it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
You know what? I'm gonna get real philosophical for a second.
Let's do it, man.
Genres of music are designed so that we can understand.
Mhm.
They don't exist.
Absolutely.
Music is music.
Yeah.
It is manipulation of sound to generate a feeling.
Yeah.
It is all just music.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as country music or
Mhm.
rock music. I mean, fucking look, Hardy has some songs that are as hard as any rock band.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And then freaking, I've heard rock bands have the sweetest love songs
Mhm.
and the most gentle melodies
Mhm.
and everything in between. There's no
Mhm.
such thing as genre. That's why when you ask a musician, an original artist, what genre they play,
Oh, dude, yeah.
it's such a hard question to answer because it is genuinely unique.
Mhm.
Every artist is completely different.
Yeah.
So we categorize things because people like boxes.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
It is a construct to make you more comfortable. It doesn't exist.
I think that might be my favorite thing that has happened in the social media age is generally across the world, it's been far more accepted to have these like crossover genres.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine Jelly Roll coming out in 1984?
No.
No.
Dude, that just wouldn't happen,
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
you know? And, you know, you could say the same for a lot of rock bands, you know, it's just like more widely accepted that, people can like hardcore country, like die hard, like 90s m- meat and potatoes country, and also like A Day to Remember,
Yeah.
you know? So, like, I think that's my favorite thing
And
that I've
almost
seen.
everybody does. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know a single person that only listens to one specific sound.
They're definitely few and far between.
Yeah.
And I don't anymore. I don't know a single artist that produces a single sound.
No, as they shouldn't. And
And
and that's super rad that that's so much more accepted that they can do that.
I mean, I mentioned Bruno Mars. Like, he's got his album coming out. And look at all of the different genres he has represented in his career. Like, he has gone from super hip hop
Mhm.
to super soul
Mhm.
and everything in between.
Yeah.
And this new single is like everything you love about the 70s disco era
Oh yeah.
in a modern context that is just chef's kiss.
Yeah, dude.
Everything he like 24 Karat was the perfect name for anything related. Everything he touches turns to fucking
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah.
And so the only thing that I have a complaint about, and this is probably autism, the mustache. I don't like the mustache. He's rocking this little pencil thin mustache.
I
and
get it, man.
He
It's
looks he looks like he's older than me, and I'm not comfortable with that because he's always looked young and hip and fresh,
Oh
and now
yeah,
he looks seasoned and mature, and I'm
yeah,
like, "That's not my Bruno."
yeah.
I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I've seen him lately.
It's super like he wears the like polo shirts that look like the bowling shirts.
Oh,
Mhm.
Like
yeah.
it's super like
60s, 70s,
yes,
Right.
reminiscent.
Oh,
yeah,
perfect.
it's rad. But yeah,
Am I getting
TLDR. If anybody listening takes anything away from this conversation, art is subjective. You like what you like. Don't force other people to like it. Have a
Mhm.
conversation about it if they're open to it, but like don't force somebody to have a conversation about it because it will never go well.
No.
Yeah.
And like quit being so mad about everything,
Yeah.
man.
Smile a little.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! And this coming from a
Laugh.
person with
Make
anger
make
issues,
it
dude.
right? Make a joke. Jokes are fun,
Yeah.
Mm.
as long as they're fun jokes. Don't make jokes at people's expense. That's not fun
No.
jokes.
Yeah.
Unless unless it's understood that that's a fun joke. Like, you can make fun of me all you want.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
fine.
Oh yeah.
But no, and to circle all the way back around
Mhm.
to one of our original topics, like, if if you want to promote a sound or a music that you enjoy and you want to get people on board, you have to give them a reason to want to.
Mhm.
And making them not want to has the same effect. If
Yeah.
I go into listening to a band knowing I don't want to like them, I won't like them.
Mhm.
You have to have an open mind. And if you want to promote an open mind, you can't shut people down
Right.
by being rude and argumentative.
Yeah.
So, like, Will, you wouldn't get up at your show and be like, "I fucking hate all of you. Now listen to my music,"
No, that probably wouldn't work very well.
unless it was that crowd. And then they would. There
That
is a crowd for that.
there is a crowd for that. There is always a crowd
There's
for
all
that.
yeah.
But yeah, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And if they don't like it, that's okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because their favorite TV show sucks.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that's all it is.
Well, I mean, as somebody who plays No Country on their shifts on Broadway in Nashville, Tennessee, I tell people that all the time. It's like, dude, I won't do it because I don't think my voice sounds good for most of it.
Mhm.
I think I do this way better. And there's like 90 other stages
Yeah.
that you can go see what you want to hear.
Yeah.
These people that are in here right now like what we're doing, and they're here because they like what we're doing. Go find a band that is in a room that you belong in,
hmm
you know?
And,
Yeah.
and you can extrapolate. Like, if you're an artist, you don't have to be good at everything. Be good
No.
at what you do.
Despite what people might tell you, because
Mhm.
that's definitely, I mean, that's with the invention of home studios
It's an idea.
and social media, it's definitely something that I've learned, with trying to get my band off the ground is like, at least for a little while, you have to try to be good at everything. It's definitely a thing that's like imposed in that like, yeah, you gotta run your social media like a professional
yeah.
social media manager would, and you have to record your stuff at least pretty decently,
Yeah.
Mm.
because the standards just, gotten so high with the amount of volume that there is that like that's a way that you rise above the noise, I guess. Um,
And
but as a human and as an artist that is a human, I think we're gonna see a change, especially with all the AI stuff that is like quote unquote perfect, right? I think we're gonna see a change in that like stuff that's easily identifiable as human because
Mhm.
it's not perfect and because not everything is done right is going to be more valued.
Oh, absolutely. I'm I'm personally not nearly as worried about the AI stuff as a lot of people are, for a couple of facts.
Okay.
One, the idea of an oversaturated market is already there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like that.
So it's already specific things that stand out amongst a crowd of endless
Mhm.
music. And all this is going to do is add to that endless amount
Mhm.
of music. So I'm not worried about that aspect. People are still going to find and enjoy whatever it is that they like.
Mhm.
Musicians and artists haven't made money off of recorded music in a long time.
Right.
No.
it's live shows.
Yeah.
AI can't do live shows.
Yet.
AI has a long way to go
Yeah,
before they
definitely
can
do.
accurately imitate a real live show. So that's we'll probably dive into AI on a future episode and
Yeah.
really get into the thick of things. As of right now, though, we kind of need to start wrapping up.
Yeah, man.
That being said, go ahead and take a second and plug your original band and your music. I think you said you've got new music coming out, hopefully in the pretty near future.
Yeah, hopefully inside, a month. And then, we're writing and recording all the time. Yeah, Skylines and Satellites. You can look us up on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify. We put out our first song, Fake, late last October. The next song should be out hopefully inside of a month.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
That's great. It sounds great so far. And you guys played Whiskey Jam not long ago, right?
Yeah.
I saw that.
How was that?
We had the first pit in Whiskey Jam history.
Let's go.
And I'm super stoked about that.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yes.
I couldn't tell if Ward was scared to shit, shocked, or confused, or all three at the same time.
I was fixing to say yes is probably the answer.
But he thought it was cool, which is a very cool reaction that I did not expect to have, because as somebody who mainly deals in country music, if I put myself in his position and I saw a pit at Whiskey Jam,
first thought is, we fucked up.
What is this? Yeah. But yeah, it was very cool. It was very, very thankful to Cody Staggs for giving us that opportunity. And yeah, man, just onward and upward.
Nice. Yeah. I do want to bring up real quick before we close out. Yeah. I think it was the last time you were on the podcast. It may have been a little before, but you were going to change the band name at some point in time.
I was. I don't feel like I can now.
Well, obviously not now. But when did that kind of be like, okay, well, we've committed and we have gone too far, and now this is what we are?
I was actually, so really quick funny story. Yeah. When Ethan's first video went viral, I was touring with Ali Colleen. We were opening the Jelly Roll tour, which was a very, very cool experience that I was very blessed to be a part of. And it went viral on like an off day, and then the next day, it had to have been half of the crew. Which, mind you, there was 3 bands.
Mm-hmm.
No, 4. It was us, Shabuzi, Ernest, and Jelly Roll.
Wow.
Like there was
hell of a lineup.
there was like 165 traveling crew members. That's not including local crew that was a part of that tour. Like there was a lot of people, and probably half of them were like, "Hey, are you that guy from that?" And I think it was at that point where I was like, "Oh yeah, we're stuck with that name."
Yeah.
So I'm not mad about it.
People have heard of it.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it.
I mean, it's a cool name. I've always liked the name. I didn't, but I do remember you like mentioning multiple times, like, yeah, that's not gonna stick. It's a placeholder. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but that's not it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun explaining, because it's gonna be one of those things that, like, in future interviews, when somebody asks me about it, because like, I don't know, man. I don't know the meaning behind it.
Yeah. Word 1, word 2 sounds good together. Yeah. That's what we went with.
That's about it. Yeah.
That's great. Well, thanks so much for coming and hanging out. Like I said, it's been so long since we've gotten to sit and chat.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
Man, what a pleasure. Yeah. I'm happy to meet you finally.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, excellent, dude.
No,
this was cool.
Will's definitely want to know for a plethora of reasons.
That's yeah, man.
One of my favorite humans on the planet, definitely. And like I said, you were most definitely my first actual friend after I moved to Nashville. So
heck yeah, man. I love that.
You reside in a very special room of my heart.
Heck yeah.
But we will definitely not wait so long to get you back on again.
Yeah.
And you can entice us with tour stories and all the things that you're doing. So I'm super excited. Brian, why don't you tell them how to find you?
Sure. Brian Morelli Music, Morelli. On Instagram. I'm no longer on TikTok, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah, that's okay. But Instagram, and maybe one place is better for everything. I think. Yeah. Well, thank you. I think you're kind of like holding the torch for rock and metal, especially
Oh, that's fair.
downtown. And then so it's really cool to meet you. And
Thanks,
yeah,
man. You
yeah,
too.
man, nice.
Awesome. I am at Story of Bob or Story of Bob Music everywhere, and you can find the podcast Nashville for Nobodies pretty much on every platform. Um, I'm still trying to get good at doing the social media thing consistently, so bear with me if you haven't seen new posts in a while. Feel free to send me a message and be like, "Hey, do your fucking job." But no, seriously, contact us. Let us know your questions, comments, concerns, queries, quips, whatever. We'd love to hear from you. And with that being said, we'll talk to you next time.
See you.
Heck yeah.